Peter and Kobela.
Once again, repita o gorogile ke a go amogela ka mo thulaganyong re mashala Kobela. Once again, I throw the baiting to you. Lead us into exposing the recent news in terms of agriculture in a period of 15 minutes time. That's the most that I give you on that part.
Even though 15 minutes is not enough, but there are so many news that I wish we can have the whole hour just to talk about agricultural news. Anyways, take a look at 15 minutes. So the highlight the news was the loss here, the NAFU president NAFU SA president, Mr. Wutilezi, he's passed on. Unfortunate news to hear for people who are fighting the fight, the agriculture. We have lost another soldier. But say to the core, Mr. Kgopolang, the way we are not led in this country. You know, on a daily basis, we lose cattle due to livestock theft. On a daily basis, only farmers who are being killed because of farmer tax. On a daily basis, agricultural theft is on the rise. But today we hear of the Hawks investigator, a person was criticizing another person's kagakia. I mean, I'm just trying to ask myself, issues that affect food security, issues that change or that potentially could change the price of bread. We don't give it to the Hawks, but we give the Hawks KCR, someone was criticizing someone's car. I'm trying to ask myself, at what point will we be led in this country? So I want to ask myself, at some point we will be led, unfortunately, but no, we are not led because the resources of this country that are supposed to assist us who focus the cost of production to increase production so that we lower the cost are not happening in this country. And that's a sad issue, Kgopolang. So I wanted to raise that on.
Yes, Mr. Mashala. Mr. Mashala. The Kobela has just mentioned it. What's your take on that one? That the law enforcement is not paying attention to the crime done in whatever way, however way, in the agricultural spectrum.
Well, hopefully, first, can you maybe apologize for my late coming? Yeah, and jumping into it, I think the issue, crime in rural areas and farm areas, and agricultural crime, as we can say, it's mostly noticeable on the issue of livestock, and the country loses billions of rands worth of livestock theft. And I think the issue also it's intertwined with the issue of rural safety and rural policy, which is non-existent in the country. If you look now, there's this issue of farm matters and all these things. Although people politicize this issue of farm matters and stuff, it's just an issue of a vacuum that is left by what do you call rural safety and the police department, because for many years this issue of I mean, well, fine, it's noticeable because white farmers are making a lot of noise, but it's not only the lives that we are losing of farmers, but I mean, in rural areas, Kgopolang, if you go to any place, you'll know crime goes there unnoticed. People get in trouble because, one, there are no police stations, there are many issues there. But I guess that's what I'm trying to address. Sorry, there's a general problem of lack of policy in the rural areas, so which leaves a vacuum. in terms of agricultural losses and stuff. So people get away. I mean, people do not prioritize. When you report that your cow has been stolen, that's not the priority crime. So it's not prioritized. That's what I say. I mean, we see now hawks are getting into domestic violence issues.
But I mean, I'm trying to ask myself, Jorge, at what point does a case ya gore mang a pile koloi ya mang a kia become a national issue? Because there are investigating officers. There's a commander of the station. Surely they could have handled the situation better, and we could have used the resources of the state to deal with issues of food security better. That way, when you report your case for livestock theft, they then have resources to follow your case up. There are so many cases of livestock theft, they just don't have capacity to follow them through. And this becomes bad, man.
Now, Kobela, don't you think, looking into how crimes is being responded to, don't you think the crimes in terms of livestock being stolen, you know, the brutalities, the hijackings at the farmers, don't you think the farmers themselves, and I'm not talking about color here, don't you think they haven't made enough, you know, effort to make the attention go through to the system that there is crime in our region, in our spectrum, that needs to be attended to? I think maybe we have not yet heard the loudness of the seriousness of the crimes at farmers, because maybe psychologically in South Africa people have to be loud first.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, remember, Hopolang, it's true. Maybe we don't make enough noise. That's true. But we are just too busy trying to feed the nation. We don't have time to go on a strike for the whole day. That's a day's lost.
Okay.
We cannot afford to go on the whole day and strike. We have to be in the land, working the land.
So what's the option?
So the option is we have platforms like this to raise our issues. And that's how we can get it right. But for us to go and sit at the union building the whole day with the hope that the president will hear us, it's a non-starter. We can write about it, we can talk about it on platforms like this, and we're hoping that's enough. So I think, you know, platforms like this are exposing such issues. And but crime is crime, you know, whether agricultural or domestic violence. This country just needs leadership around issues around crime. It's just an issue. It's a bad issue.
Look, I would like to come in there and slightly differ, you know, in terms of the issues of farmers themselves in rural areas, of course. I mean, like this whole thing, I think even farmers need to get involved in this thing. We know, I mean, in the township areas, there's also a problem of a vacuum policy, and the Department of Government has come with these issues of community policing forums and where community gets involved in trying to solve the crimes. I think farmers should not be excluded from everything and say no, they are busy working the land. It's their safety. They need to get involved in the thing. But fair enough, there are efforts like that. I know that farmers, if you go in the area, Winterfeld, Hanaskral, Moretele side, and all that, farmers have come together and started
community forum,
and
community police forum,
their own thing where they conduct even roadblocks. But the issue goes deeper, because certain these involve syndicates that involve police, and they make arrest the farmers with these roadblocks and stuff. But tomorrow the guy is out. It's moving.
I think we will need to have a guest from the police department, you know, to so that maybe he could be brought, or rather, let me say, the police can be brought in the party,
Yeah.
in terms of your mission. Kobela, before we go further, did we exhaust our news?
No, absolutely. I think we're done with what for me is newsworthy, particularly agricultural newsworthy. I think that's pretty much it.